What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Tarun's Thoughts. My name's Tarun Shetty. These are my thoughts. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Wrapping up. Actually, I have next week, too, here in LA. But I'm here a few more days and trying to enjoy it. I did some road work on the weekend. I was in Beaumont, California. I was like 2 hours away. A friend of mine asked me, he goes, "Why do you do stand-up still, man? This seems like such a tough life." And I was like, man, it's hard to explain. It's kind of like exercise for me or breathing. It's just part of what I do. Like, you do something for so long, it becomes sort of a part of you. And honestly, I feel like Florida was like comedy camp for me. I don't know if I got better, but I definitely like just hit this emotional low where, nothing on stage can really faze me, honestly. So like I kind of have that attitude now, and I think it's made my comedy better. I mean, I don't know if it was worth the significant loss in my life to attain that, but hey, it is what it is. And then last night I went to the Comedy Store. Comedy Store is this hot club here in Los Angeles. I don't get spots there anymore, unfortunately, but I have friends who do, and it's fun to go there, man. I'll tell you, it's just I feel very blessed. I was walking to the Comedy Store, and there's this guy named his name's Chad and JT. These two guys who were like the new, I don't know, Bill and Ted of 2023. They went really viral, and I think they have a show on Hulu now or something. They pretend to be stoners, but here's the thing. It's like, I don't care. I'll just say this. Like, this guy, Chad, I remember seeing this guy at open mics before, years ago. And I remember him telling me his dad was a doctor. And I was like, because I remember we had this conversation because my dad was a doctor. So I was like, Chad, I was like, we talked, right? Like, your dad's a doctor. He's like, yeah, man, good to see you. And he's like a smart guy, actually. He pretends to be like this stoner dude, but he's a smart dude, and he's a nice guy from what I can tell. So we were talking for just a minute, and then there's another guy there who runs all these hot shows here in LA, and I was like, oh, this is why you go to the Comedy Store, just to rekindle relationships so people know you're around. That's really important in entertainment. For people to know that you're around, show face. I'm not saying you got to hang out. I did that in 2000s, 2010s. I've done that all my life, pretty much, at comedy clubs. But, it's good for people to just know who you are. But then I was also telling someone, I was like, look, man, this isn't the comedy scene. The comedy scene is selling out clubs, outside of LA. There are so many guys, who are just, crushing it, who are making $10,000 a weekend. Not saying that's crushing it. That sounds pretty good though, right? But that type of money, going club to club, those are the real comics. This LA stuff is fine for what it is, but those are the guys that are really taking it to the next level. Also, quick story. That show I did on the weekend, right? There was three of us, and it was me and these two older comics, and the younger comic came up to me and she was like, "Hey, where do I set up my camera?" She's like, "Where do I set up my camera?" And I was like, "Oh, over here. There's a try." So she set up her camera, recorded it, and I looked her up afterwards, and she had 100,000 followers, and she has all these shows booked. And I was looking at the older comics, and they didn't even record. And I was like, oh, that's the changing business of comedy. I was always taught oh, you write jokes, tell funny jokes, and leave. But the new generation's about hey, how do we go viral? How do we get out there? How do we, grow a fan base? And that guy Chad and JT, I think those guys went viral too. They used to go to a public court cases or something and make fools of themselves, and they went viral. So the social media, man, it's a game changer. It's a total game changer, and I'm glad that I've got to see it firsthand, even though I haven't been able to figure it out effectively. At least I understand it. Some people aren't even aware of what's going on. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk soon. Take care.